we are going to look at how to solve a quadratic equation using the formula. Now, the reason I'm going to use a formula for this is because it says here, give your answers to 2 decimal places. So that automatically tells me that I cannot factorize this equation. So if I spend hours and hours trying to factorize it, I wouldn't get to where I need to be. Okay, so that's prompting me when it says 2 decimal places to use the formula. Now the formula that I am talking about is minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. Now that is something that you're going to have to remember for the exam. Now we have to find a value of a, b and c to be able to substitute into this formula, and the values come from the equation. Now the a value is always the coefficient in front of the x squared, so the value in front of the x squared. So that is my a value. The b value is always the coefficient of x, so the value in front of the x. In this case we have x, but that basically means 1x, so b in this case is 1. And the c value is the constant term, so the value that is by itself in the equation, not attached to an x or another letter, that is c. Okay, so we have a is 4, b is 1, c is minus 7. You have to take the symbol as well, so it's minus 7. Now what we're going to do is we're going to substitute that into our formula. So we start here and we have minus the b value, so b is 1, so minus 1 plus or minus the square root of b squared, so 1 squared, minus 4 multiplied by a is 4, multiplied by c is minus 7, all divided by 2a, so 2 times 4. Okay, now before I start to put all this in, I can try and simplify it. So I have minus 1 plus or minus the square root, so that is 1 squared is 1. If I wanted to, I could just do this on the calculator. Minus 4 times minus 7. So minus 4 times minus 7 is positive 112 divided by 2 times 4, which is 8. Simplify a little bit further. Minus 1 plus minus square root of 1 plus 112 is 113 divided by 8. Now I can put this into my calculator. So I am going to use the fraction button here. Okay, and on the top of my fraction I'm going to put the minus 1, and first of all minus 1. The first time, because there are 2 solutions, the first time I put this in my calculator I'm going to do minus 1 plus square root button 113, arrow down, and the 8 on the bottom equals. I'm going to change this into a decimal, so that is to 2 decimal places, 1.20. I have to put the 0 because it specifically says 2 decimal places. I know that the second decimal place is a 0, but you still have to put that 0 because you would lose a mark if you didn't. Okay, now the second time I do this equation, I'm going to use the fraction key again, and minus 1. The second time I do it, I do minus 1 subtract square root of 13 divided by 8, and then press to convert it into a decimal. So this time I have minus 1.45. 2 decimal places, 2 decimal places. And that's how you answer the question when it asks you to solve a quadratic to 2 decimal places using the formula.